You don't have to agree with us to be friends with us. Anchor of the Week.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Anchor of the Week, where you don't have to agree with us to be friends with us. I'm Courtney.
I'm Jetson.
There we go. It's just a Jetty and Court podcast today.
Yeah, I'm nervous.
Are you?
Well, I don't know if I usually just like sit back and then like wait until I have something to say. I have to feel like I have to keep the yapping going a lot more.
Yeah, well, yeah, you will. You will. Yeah, usually it is Sadie and I just kind of going off each other, bouncing around like crazy, and then you just come in with like well, actually, I think
Yeah.
it's good. It's grounding.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you doing good, Jetson?
Yes.
So this is the part
This
where like
coffee is
Sadie
good.
and I would do small talk. So
The preamble.
the preamble.
Yeah. It's cold in
Oh,
London, and
yeah.
we have a nice coffee. So
Can't really
I don't know.
complain.
I'm pretty happy. I actually like the cold weather.
Honestly, same.
Yeah. Sweater weather.
Sweater weather. Ugh. That is one of the most iconic
Oh.
songs of our generation, I think.
Sweater weather.
We're just gonna say it like that.
There's also an SNL skit. I don't know if that's what you're thinking of.
No, I'm
There's
thinking
the
of
song.
The song by
That
the
song is
Neighborhood.
also great.
But what SNL skit?
I don't know. They just
How
are
long-
saying that in that accent. They're like, oh, sweater weather. But I don't know. I
That's
can show you
crazy.
later.
That is crazy.
That's
for
what
me
comes to my
not-
mind.
That's crazy for me to not know an SNL reference. So you gotta educate me.
Yeah.
It's interesting because we always say that, like, or we always say, me and like the two people I talk to about this, you either come from a Saturday Night Live family or you do not. And if you come from a Saturday Night Live family, then you love it. You get the humor 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do not come from one and you try to watch it now, it like never lands.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, sometimes it's funny and then it gets political and then my dad's like, come on. And then we'll
Of course.
switch to something else. But then we'll switch back every once in a while. Like, we're not.
You're not a hardcore.
No, we enjoy it.
There you go. Anyway, Jetson, are you ready for today's topic?
Yeah, I think.
I think
I'm
it
ready
was
to chat.
fun because we were like, it's just us. We
Yeah,
get
yeah,
to
yeah.
choose. No offense, Sadie. Sorry, Sadie. We love you. We miss you. We hope the audio is okay without you.
Yeah, for real. We're
Um,
figuring it out.
Yeah, just intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But we were like, oh my gosh, like we get to decide what we want to talk
We can
about.
talk about whatever.
I know.
Yeah, yeah. I came up with some ideas, but also there's this image that I
Which-
found online a long time ago.
I would love to put it right here. So Sadie, if you're watching this and editing this,
Yeah.
I'd love to put it.
But basically, it's like a pine, like a little twig or leaf from a pine tree,
A sprig.
a sprig, yeah, as is, and it just says order, and then it shows a bunch of the pine needles stripped off the branch and like neatly symmetrically in line, and then that says chaos. And then I don't know, it's very thought provoking, especially for us as people who do believe in God and like believed in like a designed order by like a God who is, you know, bigger and greater than us. So it's just like you see one thing, not like to bash on organization, but it's just like there's our idea of order,
Yeah.
and then there's a concept of order that's always existed.
How it was intended.
How it was intended. Yeah.
Even though it looks like chaos.
Because there's so many thoughts that instantly come to my mind. Because I think we could look at, I don't know, you could pick up a rock and see all the weird like bugs and crawly things and like just living creatures, and we think, or like just look at nature itself and everything going on, all the noises, like think of a rainforest, all the different noises of like birds and animals, and you just like think like, oh, that's chaos.
Or
You know,
dirty.
or like, yeah, even dirty. But and like we have our own idea of order, which is like, I don't know, I think of like a white picket fence and a clean trimmed lawn, but that's like you have to like kill off a lot of different types of like plants to like get a lawn, like to just get grass that looks like that. But like that's our idea of like order, you know. And it's just like interesting how we look at life and like life kind of like thriving and being abundant, and it might look like chaos to us, you know, like something to organize. Like there's always that meme where like you see a waterfall in the rainforest, and like it's of course a joke, but people are just like, yeah, a giant Walmart would look incredible here. Like I think a 5-tier parking lot would look
Yeah.
just great in this spot.
That's so funny. Do you think like part of the reason that we are like so, I don't know, like we just like to curate things? Like or do you think all order? Okay, here we go. Sorry.
Yeah, get into
We
it.
live in, like, God is a God of order, and
Mhm.
He's created things. And like, yeah, you look at the way a leaf is set up,
Yeah,
and that is like clearly like
it was designed.
designed
yeah,
that
yeah.
way. But we also live in a fallen world. So what does
Mhm.
that look like? Could things be living out of their unnatural order?
Well, yeah, there's also the fact that God's made us, He's designed us in His likeness. So we have the capacity to design as well and like create and curate the world around us. In fact, I think we were made to do that in a
Right.
way. But I think there is a like right way to do it. You know, okay. I think of the story of the Tower of Babel a lot.
Come
And I
on.
think it's a very fascinating story because
Is that your
basically
Roman Empire? No.
maybe I don't know.
Is that your Babylonian
I know there's a
Empire?
book on it that I really want to read, but it's basically like a story where they're building this tower and they're like, we want to build it high enough so that like we can reach the heavens. Which of course I'm pretty sure that was like because I don't think the heavens are literally in the sky,
Yeah.
you know. But basically
Not that I
like
know of, at least.
not that. Yeah, I think we would have found it. Well, we have found it, but other way. Anyway, it's not in the sky, I don't think. But basically God was like, this isn't my intention for you. And He scattered them. And He confused them. And He confused them to scatter them. And it's like interesting because I think if we're to take that story literally, I think God's intention was to scatter like humanity and multiply them and like so that they would be fruitful and multiply and cover the earth. But also if we're to like take it as like a story and like something with intention, it's like I think there's a way we can build our own empire in a way that dishonors God. Like it's just like, and I think it's about our intention almost.
Right.
It says like when we're the way we build our own empire, because I think God wants us to curate and build and multiply, but I think there's a wrong way to do it.
I love that though. Like, I don't know, God's really been speaking to me about building as well. Just in general in life. And I was having a conversation with someone recently, and she was asking me, like, is ambition wrong?
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, absolutely not. Like,
No.
but I think, like, selfish ambition, yes. But I think sometimes, especially the church, just kind of, like, in fear of building the Tower of Babel, like,
Yeah.
rejects any sort of ambition.
Yeah.
Which is, in a way, then, I believe, also just kind of, like, taking the needles and putting them in their like cute little row. Someone decides what we're supposed to be like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's another thing. It's like, are we so scared of like our desires or ambition that we think we just need discipline and like rigidity? And that's another. Oh my gosh, there's so many metaphors in my mind today. I'm sorry, I'm gonna throw them all at you. But like, I feel like
this is creative writing with Jetson.
because we're living things, I think we were made to live in ecosystems,
Yeah.
not structures. Like structure to me is like cement, metal,
All my favorite things.
like yeah, the cool looking materials. But like I feel like we as people are made to live in like an ecosystem of like a
Yeah.
living environment where there's like freedom, but there's still order and structure.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, take with that what you will. I feel like you can take a lot of things,
You
but
could take a ton of that. Because it grows, it breathes. It
yeah, and it adapts, and
Yeah.
like it's okay that it adapts because they're still like living things, and sometimes one thing will grow more, and then it'll affect another thing, and then some things even die out sometimes,
Yeah.
because that's also part of the natural order of life is things die and grow again, and then new things come up. But I think in yeah, I need a soundboard. That'd be so fun. But I'm like, I think in our need for structure, sometimes we just want everything to sit still almost.
Well, it comes back to control, right?
Yeah.
Because if it's still, if it's in its little spot. But then I feel like the times where like I've been the most controlling is the times that I've been the most chaotic. Because there are like so many things that you can't actually control. So like you're trying to control something. It just gives me like the mad scientist or like the evil villain at like near the end of the movie when his like plan's falling apart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's like scrambling and trying his best, and everything's like exploding around, and like nothing's going to plan.
I'm assuming you haven't watched Andor, right?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh. It's a Star Wars show, so it's so good though. Listen.
No, fun fact, I've only seen part of one Star Wars 10, 15 years ago playing in the background.
Like, I understand that the movies are a lot, but
I have no need.
this show, it's about like an evil empire slowly taking over and like the politics of it and how a rebellion grows.
Is this one that Adam Driver's in?
No.
Oh.
No, that's one of the newer movies. But there's this quote, basically like there's a guy and he basically like writes this manifesto and like of how that spreads throughout the entire like rebellion, and it's basically like freedom is like a pure idea and it'll start up naturally anywhere, and like the resistance will always happen because control is unnatural. It'll always slip, it'll always break, and it's like exhausting to try and maintain control.
Wow.
And it's talking about this like basically like a worldwide like empire that's trying to like oppress and suppress everything.
So in this, the rebellion is like
And it's
the
like
good.
no, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
You never know.
Because like there's like an empire trying to take over and
Okay.
control and
Okay.
suppress everything, and then like the emperor is of course the like evil hooded guy with like the lightning from his fingers, but you don't even see him.
Classic.
You just see the politics of it all. But it's basically like freedom is a pure idea, control is unnatural, and it'll always slip and break trying to like exert
Wow.
itself, and it's always going to be exhausting itself. Well, freedom will just happen naturally. Like
naturally.
you see like a kid, or you see like plants even, or like wild animals. It's just like it's gonna spread and kind of like look chaotic, you know?
Yeah. But then what do you say to like chaotic society? Or like, because this is just where I feel like we could really toe the line of like, yeah, freedom, woo! But then it's like, but because people are not always good or have good intentions.
Yeah.
Like then what I feel like it could be so idealistic for us to just be like, you know, and then just be who you're supposed to be and whatever.
Yeah.
Like that gets so wishy-washy or like so out of hand.
Yeah.
Like how do you I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. Like, how do you build something concrete out of it in the
Yeah.
way we live?
Or like how do you like, okay, freedom but with like boundaries or like guidelines, because it's like, yeah, like your created self, but I also believe in a biblical created self, a reconciled self to God.
Yeah.
That's where you find freedom. But I feel like it's just such a thing in society of like freedom to be who I am meant to be. Like, okay, I'm like taking this on a tiny bit of a tangent, and it's gonna be a bit controversial, but there is, I don't know if you've seen this person on Instagram, but they born a man, lived as a woman for a few years, found God, and is now like going to church, reclaiming his identity as a man. Like really cool, but like taking people along in the process. His name is Nisa. But something that they said was that he said was like a lot of people say like, oh, like, but I was born this way. Like I was born with these desires, these longings, these things or whatever. And then he was like, yeah, but like in the Bible it says that we're born again. And I like had never thought about it that way. That just debunked the theology of Lady Gaga.
Debunked it.
Yeah. You know, baby, I was born this way. Like we were all born certain ways. And to me, living in freedom is not living that way
Yeah.
fully because I feel like it, because it feels right. But it's the like, I was born a certain way, but I was born again, and I'm taking on the new identity of Christ. In there is freedom.
That's
that
the
make
thing.
sense?
It's like, the thing is, we believe in God, and that God gave his people structure.
Yeah.
Like, you think about like how they were taken out of slavery, and like the structure they was shown was Egypt, like a nation that basically said they were slaves and like
Oppress them for
oppress
hundreds
them.
of years.
And like that's what they were born into. There were people who were born into that.
Yeah.
So they were born that way. But the thing is,
Baby,
God,
I was born this
I
way.
feel like
No?
people people like look at the Old Testament and be like, oh, there's so many like laws and regulations, and like that was God giving them an actual culture and identity, because so many cultures have deep traditions, deep like ceremonial traditions, but all those point back to is basically like what they value, what they believe.
Wow.
Like they're never supposed to be rules. Like God basically designed a culture for them and being like, this is who you are as people, this is who I am as your God.
He said that was what you had to live through.
Yeah.
That's not what I designed for
Yeah,
you.
and I think if we stop looking at that as like oppressive rules and start looking at it as this is about identity and like a relationship between a people and their God, we see that there is an order that we can walk in that like brings life. And like people like talk about like sin and like rules as if it's just like, I don't know, oppression. But the thing is, sin is just death.
Yep.
That's just what it is. It's just basically our separation from life. And God is life. So our God has a specific character. He's not like this vague force. So we have to do specific things, I think, to engage with the God who designed everything, you know?
Right.
Like we can walk like in grain with God himself, like, or we can go like against the grain of the world. Like there's two kingdoms,
Yeah.
I think. There's like two orders,
Yeah.
you know? And it's like, what are we looking at as chaos and what we look at as order depends on like whose side we're on. Like what kingdom are we a part of, you
Dang.
know? I think that's going to decide what we see as order, what we see as chaos, what we see as good, what we see as evil, is that there's two kingdoms at work. And like people talk about like heaven as a kingdom that Jesus brought forth now. And I like 100% believe that.
Yeah.
But I also like wonder if hell is the kingdom operating like now, and you can choose to be like a part of that kingdom. Like there's two kingdoms.
Yeah.
There's the one that's going to win and bring life, and then there's one that brings death. So it's like there are two orders essentially.
And depending on your
think.
perspective, your worldview, your
Yeah. So that's why I'm
what
like,
is.
that's why I think I start so vague, is like I think people get into like the nitty gritty like politics about it, and like of course they're always shouting for freedom. But I'm like, what are the ideas and like value systems behind what's going on in our world?
Right.
And like what's it building?
Right.
Because I think like God designed people to build a life and build some like, not like wealth, but like, you know, like he always uses the examples of like gardens, and like
Yeah.
that's him blessing his people. It's like you'll have a vineyard, you'll be able to like grow your own things and like eat from them.
But the thing
And I'm
is,
gonna like bless the rain.
a
and stuff.
garden or a vineyard has like extra like rain,
Yeah, yeah.
sun, things that you can't really control or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it does require you to tend to them.
Yeah. Exactly. It's work.
And that is, I think, part of the structure of it as well. Like, if I'm going to plant a garden, I do have to pick weeds that are going to
Oh, yeah.
choke out the flowers.
Part of our freedom is to be able to do work,
Come on.
but like good work, you know?
Yeah.
And like
Not waste our lives away.
like utopia
Like,
isn't not having to do work. That is
that
a
is
lie.
such a lie.
That is, yeah.
Because you know what happened? Devil makes work for idle hands. Come on.
Yeah. We just end up doing like work that hurts other people. Like
Yeah.
as we're trying to avoid work, we're actually hurting other people's ability
Yeah.
to do work that matters. Because
Or
like
even
we're all
ourselves.
made to do work that matters.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. That's the whole thing, though. The whole culture of working for holiday. And then holiday's over and we all complain. And then,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
but that's a whole other
That's a whole other thing.
topic.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know. I feel like we're in a different place as a society though. I feel like jobs are so much more I don't know, they seem way less structured. I feel like there was
Yeah.
a moment in time like industrial revolution, everyone worked in factories, and then factories led to like super rigid job schedules, and now like people are just getting a bit more
Loosey-goosey.
loosey
Do you
goosey.
think we're going to have another industrial revolution? Or do you think that, like, the AI technology is it's the new form of industrial revolution?
Yeah, when it comes to that and like our ability to be productive, I think this is what that conversation was what always leads me to think about like natural order and life and freedom. And I think it's like we need to focus on people's ability to do work that's important and brings life. So if we're trying to like streamline everything so that we don't have to do work, I think we're going to take something essential from us,
Wow.
you know?
Well, purpose.
Well, purpose, first of all, yeah. But also, like, I was telling you about this. Like, I think we have such a misunderstanding of AI, and, like, we're impressed with it for the wrong reasons, because it's basically just, like, skimming off of the good of what humans have created.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think we need to stop acting like, oh, but the beauty in what humans create is the flaws and the brokenness. And just, like, the beauty in what humans create is that they helped make it in the first place.
Yeah.
Because we're made in the image of God. It's like AI is just taking and synthesizing, or like just pushing
Word.
out stuff we've created.
We've already created it. Because it does not have the ability to create
No,
anything
it
new.
doesn't have the ability to create. And I think we need to like actually take a step back and like in the way we talk about it and like stop acting like it's impressive. And
It
what's
is-
impressive is our ability to actually do work and create things that matter, you know?
Yeah. If AI is good, then it's because it's taking from the best of us.
Yeah.
And like high five humanity. Like
Yeah. And I think if we depend on it, then we lose that ability to like create
interesting.
and like do good work. Like if we use it too much, I don't know. I'm hating it more and more the more I learn. I'm not gonna lie.
Are you?
Yeah, I was pretty flex at the start, and now I'm like. But I'm becoming very wary of the streamlining and like you said, like almost a new industrial like revolution sort of
Okay.
thing, because it's like you look at these other countries in the world that like I don't know. Like we've been just watching a lot of travel we watch a YouTuber, me and my wife, and he just goes to all these different like countries and shows like how the people live. And some of
Love
those
that.
countries, they just like live in governments that like control everything. And they don't let them like they're such hard workers and they make nothing from it.
Okay.
Like you know?
You're talking me started on socialism.
Yeah. But like I think it comes from the lie that utopia is supposed to be on this earth.
Yeah.
Like that's a dangerous like
Dang.
because like utopia, our idea of utopia is because we're made to be with God in heaven, and like but we're also made to live in his kingdom now. And utopia doesn't mean we just sit around and lounge,
No.
because it's like you're just gonna find I don't know other things to do. You're just gonna like end up like I don't know, I don't even know.
Just not even a great version of yourself.
No.
Right? Like, how many people come back from holiday or like time off and they're like, oh, like, let my weight go, did this, whatever, was on my phone too much. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You said something else, and what was it about socialism?
I
Courtney,
tried
stop.
to I tried to not bring up the buzzword, but yeah.
I did. Oh, it's one of those things. I wouldn't call myself, I wouldn't say that I was a socialist, but I was definitely socialism leaning.
Yeah.
And the older I get, the more that I actually learn or see other countries, etc.
Yeah.
You see big scheme, or big scheme, grand scheme of things,
Grand scheme, yeah.
and how that never actually benefits the whole.
Well, our boy, Erwin McManus put it in a very specific
Ayo.
way. No, we both,
Side note,
we
Erwin
both
McManus,
love this podcast.
if you ever
They
watch,
have.
if you ever see this, I'm gonna look in both cameras. Also, Aaron, I'm gonna clip this for TikTok and this will be my.
No.
Anyway, we'd love to have you on our podcast. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh.
I'm embarrassing Jensen.
But basically, he was like, there's two views you can have in the way you lead, and it's people are weak. We need to build everything around the fact that they're weak. Or people are strong, and we need to give them the ability to like build something for themselves and actually
Wow.
grow. And it's like, yes, we need to take care of the needy and the weak, but that's our responsibility as people. Like, I don't know if that's just like, we should just be harping on the government needs to do more. I'm like, you need to see the needy person right in front of you, and
Yeah.
you need to actually learn to be generous with like what you have, or you need to be able to like take care of someone you see in front of
Yeah.
you. Like that was the mandate God put on the church, but like the church as like us as individuals and us as people
Yeah.
and God's people. Like, and I think if we're getting on a high horse because we're just demanding that other people should be taking care of like everything, then I don't know. Maybe we just
That's
need to
actually
take like
so
a
good
look of
though.
ourselves, because I think like I'd love if everyone, like even those countries like that you just see they're such hard workers, but they're not making anything from it
Yeah.
because they're not allowed to, really.
Yeah.
Because they're put in a system that says they're weak and they need to just get everything given to them by this one large governing body or this like one large government. Like everything just needs to be sorted by them, and they know better, you know, when a lot of these people have the capacity to like build something incredible and then share that with other people.
Yeah.
But like you've also seen people like abuse the free market, and they're building their own, you know, towers of Babel, but just building up and up and up and up, and like there's just the backwards kingdom we live on.
That's the thing, is it's never
In.
going to be
Yeah.
ideal
No.
because there is no ideal in this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not everyone is going to be on the same page working for the same goal
No.
outside of the church, even in the church. Come on, let's be real.
Yeah.
There's already a lot of not that, you know?
Mhm.
But interesting because you're talking about how, like, people, like, seeing the need before them. And, like, that's what's going to, you know, change society and
The
stuff.
thing is, yeah.
I was going to say, like, I don't know, God just really been, like, reminding me, like, he did not come to, like, save a system. He came
No.
to save
Yeah, yeah.
hearts.
Yeah.
People.
Exactly.
And people might reform a system
Mhm.
because, you know, whatever, but it's like God's not in the business of just like putting in like good government structures.
Yeah.
He's in the business of saving souls.
Yeah.
So
One of my biggest passions is to like, I don't know, see like a local high street of independent businesses. I don't know why. This always just like gets me going, and like them
Yeah.
being successful, or like walking by and just seeing like an independent restaurant full of people having dinner, and I'm just
one
like,
would call that a circular economy.
what do you mean? Explain.
Like it like the money goes into the neighborhood, back out to the neighborhood, into the neighborhood. like-
yeah, like just our ability to create value for the people
Yeah.
around us. And I think like the free market has allowed some people to just inflate money back into themselves and into themselves and into themselves.
Can
And I think that goes
can you
Yeah.
just define free market for anyone listening that might not know?
I'm not an
I'm
economist.
so sorry.
I think it's just
Never mind. We know exactly what we're talking
the thing is, I read all sorts of things about the economy, but I just always assume there's so much I don't understand.
Yeah, amen.
But I think what I can understand is the values and mentalities that go behind a lot of the legislation or laws
Hey,
or economic
Emma.
models we push for. Because it's like, I see the heart behind it is like, we need to stop these multi-million-dollar like corporations from taking over everything. And I'm
Right.
like, fair enough. But that doesn't mean I want to like make another multi-million, like put that all onto the government, because then that's just another large group that controls. Like I think small pockets, like in an ideal dream world, small pockets of freedom where people can build value.
Small pockets carry big change. So good.
Did you just come up with that?
But you get it, right?
Good grief,
Like big
yeah.
change and like big change.
You need to start a nonprofit. Oh my
Called
gosh.
Small Pockets?
Yeah. That's oh my gosh. The marketing slogan is just like whirring through the head. Yeah.
Anyway.
But anyways, but I also think that's what God intended for the local church in some ways.
Yeah.
Like he just like little outposts of like hope and freedom where people are generous and they're working
Yeah.
hard and they like build things of value, but they also share it. You know,
Yeah.
like some people when they like build something of value, they're like, we struck gold. Scale, cut costs.
Yeah.
Like shove out
Incorporate AI.
the small people.
Yeah.
You know, like don't look at the person. I don't know. Because I think it's like when we start looking at a structure and a system more than like the community and the people like around us, then like we lose the plot. And I think people like, it goes back to the ecosystem thing of like people, like things growing, but also like releasing things and things dying sometimes. And it's just
Yeah.
like, that's how life works. You don't just like shove things into a system and then it just is supposed to stay there forever.
Well, because that goes back into like an abnormal order
Yeah.
as well, right? Like,
Mhm.
or like, for example, like we're not meant to live forever.
Yeah.
So like even as people, and I almost even see that with like the whole like anti-aging obsession and
Yeah.
everything, and it's like
Again, trying to build utopia on
trying to
Earth.
build utopia, trying to
On
put
our a broken Earth.
and the pine leaves perfectly in order. It's like,
Yeah,
well, actually, you look. No offense. So
Scary.
Sorry. You look scary.
Some of like this like jaw, like some people like get their like jaw super sharp. They look a bit
Yeah.
scary.
Bit scary. Or like,
Bit
you know, someone
unsettling.
just shows up with a new face on
Yeah,
a red
yeah.
carpet, and you're like, what?
It's upsetting.
It's upsetting
It
because
is upsetting
because there is a beauty to the nature of how things are supposed to
because
be.
we're designed.
We're designed.
We were made by a designer, and like if you use the product right, then it works.
Treat the product well. You know what I mean? Like if it says like don't tumble dry.
Read the
don't tumble dry.
instruction manuals. Yeah.
But it's part of that. Yeah.
But like this all comes back to like, I don't know, the implications of that we believe in God and that we believe in a good God.
Yeah.
And it changes everything. And there's so much application in the Bible and in who our God is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I would also just like to say you were so afraid of not yapping enough.
Yeah. Well, the thing
Like,
is,
Like this is
like
good.
I can yap, but I don't know like what I'm talking about necessarily.
Anyway, guys, thanks for listening to this podcast.
It's like I like to wait until I feel confident in a thought, but I'm just
That's
kind
so
of like
fair.
putting it out there.
But as you reminded me before we started filming, we're not professional. We're not theologians.
No,
We're
theologians
not
or economists.
Economists or. What's
thing
other
is-
one? What's the social one you were talking about? Not socialists.
No, I don't know
People
what
that-
you're talking
Sociologists.
Sociologists. Yeah.
We're just friends.
The thing is, I think we should just be able to like talk about the big ideas that are shaping the world around us. And
Yeah.
like, yeah, you don't have to be a professional. Also, don't act like you're a professional because social media is doing that to people.
Oh my gosh.
But like, look at the ideas shaping the world around you and like try to dissect them, you know, and like ask questions about them. It's like, is this like what kingdom is this? You know,
Yeah.
is this like the eternal heavenly one, or is this the one that's just gonna lead to death, but like looks fancy in the moment, or like
Yeah.
looks flashy, looks powerful in the moment,
Looks powerful. Looks ordered.
looks ordered, looks clean, you know?
Looks like there's a trajectory. And I think that's the other thing too, is that we like order because it gives us like the step by step.
Yeah.
Even as like a
We like to feel like we can scale it,
exactly.
but like real growth is like more like a garden than anything, and it's like
Exactly.
slow, and it's the weeding
some
and the
pruning.
watering and the pruning.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like if we're looking at growth like a, I don't know, a building. The thing is, we're in an area where there's just like a lot of like construction coming up, and there's like a lot of very empty buildings,
Yeah.
you know, and like that compared to maybe like a big garden where things take time to grow,
Yeah.
but like it's beautiful when it does,
Yeah.
but you kind of have to like wait.
Yeah.
Like trust in the slow growth of
Yeah.
like what God is doing, and like don't get intimidated by like the quick scaling. Like I think we're so intimidated by like the constant growth and progression of like man-made things,
Yeah.
and like we're like, wow, this is going to change everything. This is going to influence everything. In 10 years we won't be able to this, and in 10 years we won't be able to do that. But like I don't know, God's put us in this period of time because he wants to do something with us, you know?
Yeah.
And like I don't think we ever need to be intimidated by like the powers, man-made powers, really.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Well, yeah.
Just don't be intimidated, guys.
Yeah, guys. Grow a garden with
Just
your
grow a
life.
garden. That's beautiful. That could be your nonprofit.
Yeah.
Grow
Yeah.
a garden with your life. No?
Yeah, the pockets of change is still killing me.
Oh, it's so good. Okay? Like
Small pockets create big change.
yeah.
Like we need to brainstorm that after this.
Yeah, so if you guys see that coming up in the next 6 to 8 months, you know where that came from. Any closing thoughts, Jetson, as we probably wrap up, I would assume. I don't really know how long we've been going for, but yep, about 35 minutes. With some faff at the beginning, but
Some preamble.
some preamble, per usual.
No.
Okay, so this is the part where you're like, I'm not just gonna yap for the sake of yapping. Yeah, this is
When a thought comes out, it's already closed the moment I stop talking, so no closing thoughts.
If I
The
stop
moment I
talking,
stop talking, it's probably
it's closed.
closed. Unless we need to start a new one.
And you said, yeah, I ain't got time for that right now. I'm so sorry. No new thoughts.
No new thoughts.
No new thoughts.
Unless you really want to start something else.
I don't think I do. So then on that note, I'll share my closing.
Okay, go on. Yeah.
Well, no, actually, I don't think I have that many closing thoughts. And also, anything that I thought of, I just forgot by laughing at your
Whoops.
lack of. Yeah, it's okay. Not your lack. No, sorry, that came out mean. Like, by your lack of clothing.
I know it's camo. You can't see what I'm actually wearing. But I am wearing a hoodie.
I really hope you guys got that. Instead of saying closing, I said clothing. And then if you're listening and you can't actually see Jetson, which I didn't even notice, is wearing a camo hoodie. So I said I can't see your clothing. Anyway, I really think this is where we should wrap things up because
Yep.
this is what this is going to turn into.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, guys, we would love to hear your thoughts on this. We're going to post as well the little meme. I'm sure you guys, most of you have probably seen it. Of like the sprigs,
Yeah.
shall we say, the pine. Just because it's I don't know, it's just so clear and very strong.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm going to be thinking about how I'm trying to organize control that actually ends in chaos. Yeah, so maybe you guys will too. And then we could start a support group.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us in this Court and Jetty duo episode. As always, you guys can find us in the usual spots. We're on Instagram, TikTok, listen on Spotify, YouTube, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we'll
Yeah.
see you guys next time.
See ya.
You don't have to agree with us to be friends with us. Anchor of the week.